So can John Matthews with Avrio come on up?
That'd be great.
Hold this. I think so. Maybe.
Got it.
Okay, if it falls, it's my fault.
Awesome. Thank you. Good evening. My name is John Matthews. I moved to Traverse City in 2003. It was August. It was summer. I fell in love with the area, and then winter came hard. But you know what? I've got used to it. I've embraced it, and now I love it. But in the 16 years that I've lived here, I've been out of town a lot on business. Most recently, I was chief operating officer for a company that learned how to convert algae into foam used in shoes. All right, this is really cool, and it's now used in over 30 brands. Some level of algae components are used in all the brands. But after spending 2 years in China and Vietnam, meeting with shoe manufacturers, and eating some very unique food, I realized that introducing algae foam to the marketplace wasn't going to help us resolve some of the environmental issues that we had. So today, the algae eco story is great, but if we really want to make a difference, we need to take it a step further. I read this 50 times, but I still need the notes. So the question is, how do we use nature and technology to reduce the impacts and negative impacts on manufacturing products? And I thought, how could we have the greatest effect on the environment and the economy? So I considered the people, the materials, and the processes that I experienced in my time in Asia, and what would provide the greatest return. And I'm not talking about just a financial return, which is considerable in the footwear industry, but I'm also talking about creating a true benefit for our future. So I want to show you some of the problems, and we're all pretty much aware of this, but pictures, which one's the picture? Okay, so this is air pollution in India. On a bad day, it's equivalent to smoking about 20 packs of cigarettes. On a good day, it's equivalent of you cut back to 5 packs. This is a picture I took in China. My wife can tell you when I come home from China, I cough for a week because my lungs are no longer accustomed to breathing the clean air that we enjoy. This is the algae bloom in Lake Tahoe in China. All right, this is in Wuxi. This bloom, I worked with Chinese officials to establish algae harvester machines to claim some of the algae and clean up the lake. This is a picture of a fish pond in Alabama. You see the green water coming in, the clean water coming out. That's as it passes through an algae harvester machine. That algae is then used in our Avrio shoe. This is a scary thought. It said by 2030, there'll be more plastic in our oceans than there are fish. Just think about that for a second. What that creates is an overflowing landfills, because we've become a society where make, use, and dispose has become the norm. All right, we need to change that. Or what's ended up happening is our landfills turn into what I like to call Mount Dumpmore. So how can we solve these problems? All right, in an effort to lead the change we need, we founded Avrio, which is a Greek word that means tomorrow or the future. The name's perfect because our team at Avrio, they're all about making tomorrow beautiful. With over 20 billion shoes made every year, we believe we can make an impact by using and creating truly sustainable materials in every Avrio shoe. Okay, so here's the Avrio shoe. Ta-da! This is where we get to create and make the consumer, the buyer's the hero at this point, because they know what every shoe that they purchase and every purchase they make, they've helped clean the environment. And they're going to understand, and when they see the facts, they're going to choose Avrio. So here's the facts. Every pair of shoes cleans the equivalent of air contained in 67 scuba tanks. That's cleaned and filtered. That means that there's about 13,000 balloons of air. 243 liters are cleaned and filtered with every pair of shoes. Think about that tube you saw coming out of that green lake. All right, the thread used to make the upper materials made from 100% ocean plastics, and each pair of Avrio is a 62% upcycled material, which means it was something else in a previous life. Transparency is key. So this summary of Ecofacts, this isn't stuff that we created at Avrio. We used an outside certified entity to determine what these facts were, and they shared it. I can tell you who it is if you want to meet privately. So when you buy a pair of Avrios, you're going to know exactly what impact you've made, because all this information is printed on the inside of the insole of every shoe. And not only that, you'll know exactly what ocean and when it came out, where that plastic was reclaimed. Again, it's clearly transparent. And we're not stopping there, because our goal is to create a closed-loop program for the footwear industry, which means when you're done with your pair of Avrios, you send them back, and we'll turn them into the next generation of Avrio footwear. So here's one of the videos that I want to show you. Push the other button. How do I do the video?
Everyone knows the first rule of time travel. Change one little thing, and you change the future. But aren't we all time travelers? Every decision we make today changes tomorrow's story. Your choices have the power to alter the timeline. That's why we created Avrio, to redefine the sustainable shoe by combining beauty and comfort with measurable positive impacts, enabling you to directly impact the world around you.
All right, I didn't star in that video for obvious reasons. So I believe that together we can make a difference. And as the video says, we can change our future, and we can do it one step at a time, little shoe joke, with Avrio. So, all right, we're going to be launching a Kickstarter in March, all right, and we need your support. So what I ask you to do is scan the QR code, enter your email address and on our website, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And please share it with your friends. It's all about building our support. And as for the money, we're looking to raise about $250,000. Details of the cash uses and the benefits can be discussed privately. Thank you. Any questions?
I saw a young lady right here in the front.
Yeah. Oh, right here in the front. Hi. Yep, no, absolutely. So I actually still am great friends with everybody over at my other company that's Algae and Bloom. So there are a lot of things that they're doing. They're putting in various components. For our purposes, whereas there's actually other merchant goods that we can use, their products, and also some of the other processes that we've discovered through our travels. So we're not limited to just shoes, but the shoes has the greatest impact, 20 billion pairs. So take the numbers in the Ecofacts that you saw and add 1 million pairs of shoes. Add 10,000 pairs of shoes, and then think about the impact you would have on the world. I saw someone back there. Yes, sir. That's correct. That's correct. And you know why that is? Because I travel around for 4 years telling all the shoe brands this is what they got to do, but none of them wanted to do it at the full scale and level that we wanted to do. So the transparency is not completely there. So you can buy a pair of shoes that say they're algae, they have algae, but they could have 3 to 4% algae in it. We're talking about a 50% algae content in some of our components, but we're also talking about ocean plastics, but the transparency is where it's key. We'll show you and prove to you where the content and where it's made and where it's coming from. Allbirds uses wool, which is a natural component, right? So they've got a natural... Their soles do have some eco-stories to them, but not the eco-story that we have. We also have, to your point, the soles that we make are using a brand new technology that 90% of that sole is a recycle or upcycled content using algae foams and other shoe components, only 10% virgin material. No one has that. Yes, sir. On their wool shoes. Right, right. And that was a struggle that we also had with some of the brands. But now a lot of the brands, and I also know I have some dear friends there, they're working to increase that model. But again, no one has the levels that we do here. Yes, in the back.
What's the go-to-market strategy for the products in the market right now? And are you wearing them right now?
Unfortunately, I'm not wearing them right now. We are getting ready to ship out our wear test models. Go-to strategy will be through Kickstarter and Indiegogo. The market testing that we have done have been very favorable. The reason I'm not wearing them right now is because anybody that's familiar with shoe manufacturing, they make size 7 ladies and size 9 men. I wear size 11, half 12. And the reason they do that is if you think about a shoe that's been expanded to a size 13, it looks a little gangly, it doesn't look quite right. Those two sizes are actually where you can set the aesthetics and the look and feel of the shoe, and then expand or contract when the designers work it. So all the paper patterns are done and grown off of the size 7 and 9. So, sure, I'm always looking for partners. Who's next? I'll do over here. Yes? So that's part of that life cycle analysis, because a lot of the companies, back to his point, they have a lot of greenwashing going on. So by utilizing an outside entity, which is Earthshift, is actually the ones that did the algae content and the algae, they're able to tell us, is there any greenwashing going on? So what happens is a lot of shipping back and forth, you would think, hitting on these freight ships and these diesel, but if you think about shipping, 100,000 or 200,000 pairs of shoes, the incremental cost of that greenwashing or that fuel is minuscule. But my goal is actually to bring shoe manufacturing back to the US as well. I only had 5 minutes because he was stepping on me a little bit, but I do want to eventually bring that back to the US. There was somebody over here, and I love Matt. Yes? Well, I'd like to go absolutely neutral, because that goes back to the closed loop program, so where I'm going to be able to return the shoe. So you buy a pair of Avrios, the next pair that you buy is essentially going to be a net zero, because all that shoe went into the next generation of footwear. All right, can I do one more? No? He's killing me. See me afterwards. Oh, he wants to put it on the moon. I'll do that. We have a table out, yeah. There is a table out there right now. My son actually combed his hair just so he could be at the table, so. Thanks.
Can I have the clicker back, please? Thank you. Good. Okay, and our winner is, congratulations to Avrio Footwear. Come on up. Thank you, and congratulations again.